Heredity, the passing out of traits from parents to offspring, by Emily Johnson. What traits did I get from my parents? Here are my parents. I have a mother and a father who, when they had me, they passed on their genes. I am made up of DNA that came directly from my mother and father to make me who I am. Although some things about me have been influenced by my experiences and my environment, many things about me come from my parents. First of all, the color of my eyes, I think, comes from my dad. I have dark brown eyes, just like him. My mom, on the other hand, has blue eyes, which are very different from mine. The second thing is my height. I think that my height is a good mix between my mom and my dad. Since I know that I am made up of genes from both of my parents, I know that this is possible. The reason I think it is a mix from both my parents is because now that I am fully grown, I am shorter than my dad, but taller than my mom. Now I am neither considered short nor tall, but I am an average height, just like my parents. As for my hair, the color of my hair is brown, just like my mother's hair and my father's. Therefore, I think that my hair color came from both of them. As for the texture of my hair, however, my mom's hair is extremely thin and fine, while my dad's is thicker. My hair is thin, fine, and soft, so I think that my hair texture is most like my mom's. Another thing is my nose. I can tell that I inherited my nose from my dad because just by looking at the shape of it, I can see that it is very similar to his. My mom's nose is more pointed, while my dad and I have a narrow bridge but wider base on our noses, and they are more rounded than my mom's. Next is my skin color. My mom's skin is light with a lot of freckles. My dad's skin is darker than my mom's, and he tans easily in the sun, which is seen as his skin gets darker in the summer or when it is hot out, or when he is outside a lot. When I look at their skin and consider these traits in comparison to the traits I see in my own skin, I can see that my skin is more like my dad's. My skin is darker, often called olive skin, and I tan easily as well. In the summer, the more time that I spend out inside in the sun, the darker that my skin gets. As I have gotten older, however, a few freckles have started to form on my face. Although there are not many, they may be caused by sun damage. I remember my mom telling me that this is how she got a lot of her freckles too. Therefore, maybe my skin is a little bit like my mom's as well. It's just mostly hidden behind the dominant dark skin that I inherited from my dad. Although the past few things have been traits that you can physically see are similar or different between my parents and I, there are also a few traits that I have from them which you cannot tell by appearance. First of all, the way I think, especially in school, is something I inherited from my parents. This is both an inherited and a learned trait since I was born with certain skills and abilities, but my parents nurtured me to help me grow and shape my thinking. More specifically, from my dad, I inherited my ability to think mathematically and scientifically. My dad is an electrical engineer, so he uses math and science daily to solve problems. Because he passed this ability on to me, I am able to solve problems using numbers and science as well. From my mom, I inherited my language arts skills. Although it took me a long time to like reading, I was always able to read and write well. My cognitive or mental ability to do this is something I inherited mostly from my mom, but my practice with it and learning how to apply this ability was something I still had to learn. Even though both my parents can do math, science, reading, and writing, each of my parents had their areas in which they are better and more confident. When they passed their abilities on to me, their offspring, I was able to build on their strengths. Also, there is my musical ability. I have always liked music and I felt like I am a musical person. In my family, it is pretty clear that my musical abilities were inherited from my mom. My dad is tone deaf and does not play any instruments, but my mom sings, plays the piano, and used to play the flute. I think that this is both an inherited and a learned trait because I have always liked music and was able to learn it really easily, almost as if it came naturally, but I had to practice a lot as well. My mom taught me how to do things correctly before I was able to be successful on my own. This is my whole family. Just as my parents passed their traits on to me through genetics, They also pass their genes on to all of my other siblings. Each of my siblings have a different combination of genes from my parents, though, which makes each one of us different, but similar in many ways. Therefore, even though the evident traits may be different, the same relationship of traits can be found between any set of parents and their child. Now it's your turn. Create a video similar to this one that you can use on your VIP day in order to share with the class 8 to 10 traits that you inherited from your parents. In your video, include a narration of which traits you think came from which parent, or both, and explain why you think so. Your video can include family pictures or videos to show the traits that you are discussing. Lastly, you will select a fun song to play in the background. Your video will be part of your presentation about your VIP day, so be prepared to share it with the class. We are all excited to get to know more about you and your family. Have fun!